Hey guys, in this tutorial we're creating a lion guard cake with Kion and Bunga figures. We've got a 7-inch round cake off-centred on an 11-inch board. Dampen the cake ready for sugar paste. Using some spare sugar paste, roll rough pointed sausages and apply them on the sides of the cake. Try and leave a space at the front of the cake so it remains flat. Roll out some white sugar paste in a long rectangle, enough to go around the whole cake. You can roll it around a rolling pin to make it easier. Cut down where it joins and smooth the seam. Smooth the sugar paste around all the sausages and trim off the excess from the top. With the Dresden tool, start marking in lines around and through the sausages. You can deepen and open up some of the lines with the side of your little finger. Finally, trim the excess sugar paste from the bottom. Using brown chroma airbrush colour, gently start airbrushing all the sides until you have your base colour. Then deepen the colour in the lines and underneath the ledges to create shadow and depth. Next, you want a lime green sugar paste, cut in an 8-inch circle, and just quickly pull at the edges with a shell tool. Place this circle on top of your cake, using the shell tool again to add more texture. To make the grass look a bit more organic, you can tear at some of the edges to make them ragged. Dampen the board ready for covering. We're using the same lime green colour. I'll leave a link in the iCard to the tutorial on covering a cake board. Next, I've got some foam core. If you've watched my past tutorials, you'll have seen this before. Just foam sandwiched in between white card. This one is 5mm thick. It can be bought online or in craft shops. Using a 6-inch drum as a guide, you'll want to cut a circle, but leave the bottom off for a flat edge. Make sure you cut your foam board with a scalpel and not scissors. It always comes in real handy if you use a new scalpel blade for a clean cut. I'm always in a rush or forget and end up with ragged edges. Dampen the circle and cover it with white sugar paste. Cut the excess off, leaving enough paste to cover the sides of the foam core. Smooth it over the edges and cut off any overhang. Pop your foam core on some acrylic or just greaseproof paper for airbrushing. Start with yellow for the whole circle, then orange up to halfway, and finally red for the bottom. Using 2 kebab sticks you can create supports as they can be pushed up into the foam between the card. Gently twist them up inside and trim them to size. Gently push this down near the back of the cake, making sure the edges don't overhang. Using some pale brown with Tylo added to make it firmer, roll it into a fat teardrop shape. Dampen the top of the cake and place the teardrop on at an angle, gently teasing the rounded edge down to meet the cake. Flatten the top with a smoother and mark in lines with the Dresden tool like we did on the side of the cake. Pinch the top edge of the rock to make it less rounded. Yellow sugar paste mixed with a little brown should get your Kion body colour. Add some Tylo powder to strengthen the legs. Roll a sausage of sugar paste and check for size on the rock. Cut the top at an angle as this will meet the body. Insert a cocktail stick through it and place to the front left of the rock. Squeeze in an elbow or an ankle of the lion. The lions even have ankles. Then if needed, trim again at an angle for the height you want. Repeat the process for the other 3 legs, making sure the cocktail sticks all point slightly inwards to the centre rather than straight up. Using the same colour for the body, check the size against the legs. Tease the ball of sugar paste to create a neck and pinch around the middle for a waist. Push the body down onto the sticks and adjust the legs, smoothing the back legs in where you can. Smoothing sugar paste with Tyler can be much more difficult than just plain sugar paste, so try to work quick. Trim off the front of the legs, ready for creating paws. Insert a cocktail stick down into the neck for preparation for the head. For the paws, roll small tic-tac shapes from the paler yellow and stick 4 together on the front of the legs. Do the same for all the other legs. In the same pale yellow, roll out a thin strip to cover the front of the neck and belly. Roll a thin pointed sausage from the golden yellow to create a tail. Now leave the body to set and work on a bit of scenery. Using some brown, roll out a tapered sausage for a tree trunk and attach it to the foam core with water. A smaller sausage will make a smaller branch. Press in some texture with a Dresden tool. Add another tree down on the side of the cake. Using a deeper green, this one is Renshaw's Lincoln Green, squash a shape out for the leaves. Attach this with water to the top of the branches and texture it with the point of a star piping tip. It's the same technique used on the zombie tutorial. Cut out the name and age with tappets or click sticks. Again, I also have a tutorial for that up in the iCard. Roll out some black sugar paste to create backing. Add your letters with water and cut around them. Do the same with the age and put them to one side on a foam mat to dry a little. Now for Bunga, which is a honey badger. Create his body in grey with a little Tyler win. Mark a line in the base with your finger to start off the legs. Insert a cocktail stick down into the neck but at an angle so it emerges through one of the legs. Stick him onto the board on the left and trim the stick down for his head. For his little toes, they are black teardrop shapes with 2 lines pressed in. Add these to the bottom of the legs. Like we did with Kion, add a little belly patch, add a few lines in to create the illusion of fur. Back to the original grey colour, roll a small tapered sausage for an arm and add that across the front of the body. Do the same for the other arm, but push the narrow end on top of the other arm to create a folded arms look. Create another small black teardrop emerging from the bend of the left arm. Another grey teardrop creates a tail. Roll out a ball for Bunga's head and check for size. Using your finger, roll a small dent around halfway down. On the opposite end of the Dresden tool is the fatter end. Holding it upside down helps to create eye holes. Use a small ball of pale grey for his muzzle. Can't say I've ever made a honey badger before, so we'll just call it a muzzle. Add in a line with a scalpel and roll a small strip of white for his teeth and stick it underneath the muzzle. Separate the teeth with a scalpel as he has a tiny gap in his front teeth. For his lip, we are using a strip of black. Add in a cheeky dimple either side with the Dresden tool. Insert white into the sockets and flatten them in. Small black balls create pupils and even smaller balls of white create catch lights. Then I decided his bottom lip looked a bit extra, like a bee-stung lip, so I replaced it for a thinner one. Create a small well for his nose to go in with the ball tool. Place in a ball of dark red, press it into shape and poke in nostrils. Outline the eyes with black paint. I use Rainbow Dust Metallic Black. All the items I've used are in the description box below. Push his head down onto the stick at an angle. For his ears, they are teardrop shapes with smaller pink teardrops inside them. Cut a flat bottom to attach to the head. I wouldn't advise using your finger as a worktop, but we all know how blunt my blades are because I always forget to change them. Using the black paint again, draw in eyebrows. White sugar paste pulled into a point creates his hair. Small strips create white fur on the backs of his arms. Add more sugar paste down his back to meet the patch on his head and add in spikes of paste to finish him off. Whilst the name is still a little bendy, stick this to the front with water. Now you can see how keeping the front flat came in handy. For clumps of grass, just roll pointed sausages stuck together, and the bottom cut straight. You will need a large clump for the top of the cake where you can display the age. Now add various size clumps to create a scene all around the cake. For a little sneaky "Oh no, the heron," use black paint and start with basic shapes, a ball for the head and a point for the beak. If you're not confident to paint straight on, you can always transfer it on with a pencil and greaseproof paper. For extra detail, roll out some pale brown rocks, which are just lumps of sugar paste in various sizes. Finally, time for Kion's head now his neck has strengthened a little. Roll a ball of the golden yellow and press the dint into the centre. Using a large ball tool or your fingers, press in rough eye sockets. With the paler yellow, stick a ball to the lower half and press into his muzzle shape. Using the Dresden tool, mark in the mouth. Gently push the eye socket down and the face up to create small cheeks. A red ball creates his nose and sits on top of the muzzle. Like Bunga, shape it into position and add nostrils. For more emphasis on the bridge of the nose, add in a tapered sausage down the centre and smooth it in. Deepen the outer sockets with the Dresden tool and add in round deep sockets with the ball tool. For the patches under the eye, use smaller yellow and smooth it in. Fill the sockets with white and then create wells for the pale burnt orange pupils. Black balls go inside these, and again the small white balls for catch lights. Roll little black sausages for eyebrows and curl them up into what I call Buzz Lightyear eyebrows. Outline the eyes and mouth in black whilst holding the head completely out of shot like the camera expert you are. Almost done, add the head at an angle, and for the ears use flattened balls of golden yellow with balls of brown inside. Curl the circle in on itself and trim the base flat to attach it to the head. Either paint on black outlines for the ears or add in a strip of sugar paste. For the end of his tail, cut 2 slits into a teardrop shape and with a pair of small scissors, cut in spikes for his mane. Add in a few smaller spikes to the front and we're done. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and let me know if lions have ankles in the comments. See you in the next one guys, bye!